reluctantly resigned because I felt the urge to travel again, and decided that, as with Germany, it was a country of political interest, or Germany, what had happened, why the circumstances that led to 2 world wars. I thought that would be interesting. And in South Africa, I chose it because I thought it would be an interesting country to work with the political situation, trying to understand a little bit more. And so flew over, arrived in Cape Town, no job, no accommodation, had done some reading about South Africa. And I was lucky, on the second day of staying in this hotel, I was scouring the paper and found an advertisement that read, Tambers Kloof, workers' cottage, female requires a flatmate, professional person. So I rang her up. Next minute she pulled up outside the hotel in a 10-year-old battered blue sports car, hood down, dark glasses on, scarf around head. I hopped in. She whisked me up to her cottage, which was absolutely gorgeous, with lovely rugs and South African Afrikaans type beautiful Dutch furniture. She was an English teacher, but she was Afrikaans. It was a wonderful accommodation. I went in there. Socially, then I met a guy who was a history teacher at a boys' school, so he gave me the English background because I went out with him, and Dina gave me the Afrikaans background. For the first 3 months I sat and listened. I didn't hardly talk. I had my ideas about apartheid, what that might do when I came to work with separation of the different groups in South Africa. But trying to understand the politics and history was fascinating, and they were very vocal and very articulate people. In fact, they all wanted to talk about it, and they were so open, and the difficulties of they didn't agree with apartheid, but this is what it was about, and it was a wonderful experience listening. So when I did get a job within the week, it was quite easy to get a job. I got a job in spinal injuries hospital, Conradi Spinal Injuries Hospital on the Flat. I bought an old battered Volkswagen car, used to go over the hills and far away to get to work. We were a very international staff at Conradi Spinal Injuries Unit Hospital. There were only about 4 South Africans on a staff of about 20. All the rest were English, Irish, Dutch, and we were a very lively group, English, whatever, German. And it was a very interesting experience. They used to have availability when we heard there was a new spinal injuries case. The call would come into the physio department. We were trained to do respiratory work in case they needed to be resuscitated. We took our little bag of goodies with us. We went on the plane to pick them up, which might have been in the Karoo, where they'd been either stabbed or shot at from some tribal conflict, and put on the stretcher, lifted in the proper manner onto the plane, and then the ambulance would be to meet us and take them to the hospital. So all that was a very interesting experience for me, and learning, and that was part of my work life in South Africa for 10 months, really, being at that hospital. Now, as you can appreciate, on the staff of Conradi, with all these international people and apartheid being very strong, and an Afrikaans boss who was to the letter correct, and a superintendent of the hospital who was to the letter correct, because they had to follow the laws of the land. We had some Irish characters on the staff, and one day that they thought of this idea. We had a physiotherapy gym for white South Africans, which was a good size, and the wards were staffed by white people, nurses, medical people. We had the coloured wards, and the Africans and coloureds were in that other wing where they were all together. They had some black African nurses as well, and sisters. And their physio gym was absolutely overcrowded. In fact, it was bigger than the white gym because there were so many more of them. It was huge, but we all worked on beds and parallel bars with these spine injuries and mats on the floor, and this rather more spacious gym for the white group. Well, these Irish girls said, why don't we've got this area in the middle between the two gyms. It's a beautiful day. Why don't we put the mats out in the middle and we'll have a mixed class? Well, of course we went along with it because we thought safety in numbers. If we all go along with it and we're all working together, and we'll still keep the coloureds and blacks on one side of the nearer their gym and the whites will be nearer their gym. But we're sort of in the middle circulating and helping them do their mat rolling and their sitting and their push-ups and their trying to strengthen and everything. Well, of course, we were in the full fling of a wonderful group and everyone was going along with it and thoroughly enjoying it, and next minute the medical superintendent walks past and you could see his hands going up in horror and his mouth opening very wide and eyes opening very wide too, while he looked at this process of us on the ground out in a mixed sort of group. Well, of course, the inevitable happened. Our charge physio was hauled over the coals for allowing this to happen, and he came and gave us a serious talk that we weren't following the laws of the land. But actually, that was the end of the incident, and he didn't take it too much further, and we were all let off the hook. But we did have a bit of a laugh at our going against what was the... we were trying to push the boundaries, I guess. We weren't being... deliberately trying to go overboard, but we're just probably seeing where we would go.